Button is depressed.
No, it's not. Now it's being depressed. Like right now. Finally, it's been depressed.
Right now.
It's depressed. Depressing, man. Depressing. And imagine that kitties show up.
Automatically.
It's amazing how this happens.
All right, let's do this thing. Quiet on the set.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And this is Lunch, coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. Here are the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Les.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another exciting edition of Cats Show Up in the Office right before the lot we show ourselves on stream. And it's like amazing. Tyrion is here with his tail underneath my chin.
It's like they know when we go live. I'll tell you what.
It's Taco Tuesday.
That's right. Also known as Two for Tuesday, because on Tuesdays, when we remember, we give away double streamer reward bundles. And of course, all you've got to do is type in exclamation bundle me in order to get in on that action. Exclamation I love free shit for a chance to win mystery game keys during giveaways. And those giveaways are both open. And of course, welcome to today's show, boys and girls. Yes. It is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023, here inside and outside Shroud of the Avatar. And of course, as always, we're here to misinterpret the news so you don't have to. What's Tyrion doing?
All the claws instead of like a third of the claws.
Yeah, instead of like one paw, yeah.
One claw on one paw and two claws on the other paw.
That's why I don't bother. My opinion is when you do that, they just make larger holes in your body or anything else they try and grab with their claws. So
no. It's when they're nice and sharp that it causes all the problems.
I don't know. See, nice and sharp causes tiny little hole. It causes a real wide puncture hole, you know.
You have obviously not dealt with Tyrion's claws.
No, I have not.
Because Tyrion like comes up and like slaps with his claws out with the sharp claws, so you end up with gaping wounds.
Yeah, well,
because here we'll look at this. Watch this. So watch what he does. Ow, shit. It's like, pet me.
Yeah.
You see that?
Mine does that, and he bites as well, so
Yeah,
it is what it
yeah.
is. They love
But
bites.
exclamation. I know. Yes, they are.
I love you. You're for lunch. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, but it's always great. Like earlier, I actually had to kick Lily like last night off of my desk like 5 times because she came up. I was working on my desktop and she comes up, lays right down in front of the keyboard. It's like, dude, right? It's like I need my keyboard right now.
Yeah, here's your solution right here. The squirt gun.
Squirt gun.
Yes.
No.
Squirt gun. All I have to do is pick it up and threaten, and he goes running.
Yeah.
New Kitty hasn't had that problem yet because, again, she is currently in quarantine, but she's been a little sweetie the little bit of time that she did get to come out that one day. But of course, I'm sure she'll be the recipient of the squirt gun eventually because all cats, curiosity killed the cat and they like to get into
Oh yeah.
mischief. Yes, yes, they do. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and get into today's news and information, all sorts of other stuff.
You mean we're going to talk about the Tweeterverse?
The Tweeterverse? What Tweeterverse? You mean those
What
guys?
Tweeterverse?
You mean those guys who ban people for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah. You got to tell the story though, because it's too damn funny.
Yeah. Well, the story goes, last night as I was winding up on my way to bed, I get an email, and the email reads, I don't know if I should put it up or just to read it.
Well, I need to go find it again.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it up on screen.
Yeah.
But, hello, Laz. Your account has been suspended for violating the Twitter rules. Specifically for violating our rules against evading permanent suspension. Note that if you attempt to evade a permanent suspension by creating new accounts, we will suspend your new accounts. If you wish to appeal this suspension, please contact our support team. And I found this considerably irking, considering, first off, I've never been suspended from Twitter before, let alone trying to evade permanent suspension by creating a new account to get around their rules, which is just totally asinine across the board here. And
maybe you're one of the 1.5 billion fake accounts that Elon said that he was going to get rid of.
But it's not a fake account. It's got my real name on it, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Fake account.
Yeah. And any of the other Twitter accounts that I have access to get retweeted to manually. The only one that actually has a bot associated with it, which is the NBNN news account. And all that does is scrapes news articles from where I've told it to, which is pretty much the NBNN Daily Britannia, and sends those out along with new followers on Twitch and Twitter, which also get tweeted out and gives our new followers shout outs and stuff like that, but also a fully legit account. The WRFB account also tweets out daily stuff, including what's playing on the radio station automatically, but again, that's handled by the radio station account, and not fake accounts. These are legit accounts sending out legit tweets. So I don't understand. So
yep.
Funny enough, because again, it was like usually when right before I go to bed, I check the phone and I clear out all the history of the day that I haven't read or wasn't interested in reading, and I clear it out so in the morning everything's fresh content. And so this morning when I got up, I had to go talk to the support staff, and I am now currently awaiting reply. Aside from the auto reply that says, "We've got your information, and we don't know what we're doing out here." Come on, Elon,
Nope.
get with it, brother. Get with it.
Not going to happen.
No, this was not a phishing email to get my Twitter info. This was an actual suspension from the Twitter account. And again, when I logged into said account, I did see that somebody else apparently had logged in, or there was a login that I didn't authorize. But because my account is suspended, I can't delete any posts that were made on that account, nor can I change my password because, that would be too easy to do with the non-suspended account,
Yep.
Cat, what are you doing? He's just
Man, I
having a
wish I
ball over
knew.
there.
I wish I knew what my own cats were doing.
Yeah. But no, it was not phishing. And funny enough, when I logged into said account today, I got a message that says, "Hey, we see a login from an account where you're located in Deltona, Florida," but I didn't get a message from the other account that logged in on the 6th, which was really weird because it wasn't me. So yeah, we'll keep you updated as to what's going on with the Twitterverse. Otherwise, no new tweets from neither Catnip Games or at Shroud of Avatar as of
Nope.
yet. Probably don't
Neither
expect
one.
to see any of them until
Never.
what date? That'll be in approximately 2 weeks and 2 days. Thursday the 26th when we get to release 110. And of course, that Friday will be the release stream, which may include some interesting surprises. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I can't confirm nor deny any other information on that.
We cannot confirm anything.
That's right. I don't know nothing. I know nothing. I see nothing. I know nothing. But
Nope.
let's talk about some Shrouded Avatar stuff. I want to talk about the player council. You want to talk about bugs not being bugs. We want to talk about
Let's
end of
talk
year
about this
recaps.
idea of Segalian's player council.
The player
And
council.
he would love to see Soda implement a player council that can meet up in game or on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, whatever, to discuss items that the player community would like to see addressed. A representative could travel to Central Brittany to a new council meeting hall. This is where only approved representatives can enter, discuss issues, hold votes, and give the devs some guidance about what is on the players' minds. This doesn't have to be binding to the devs, but would work as a way for the devs to understand the gamers' issues. I'd also be in a great in-game event. All players can descend on the city to sell goods, voice their concerns in the public square, etc. Meanwhile, inside the council hall, representatives are proposing ideas to be voted on. If we want to make it work within the world's framework, it could be a quarterly visit to the Oracle. The Oracle watches over the council meeting and speaks on behalf of the devs, and can be written as players bringing their issues before the Oracle. The Oracle can become the game's de facto god. The first meeting would include only dev-suggested items to vote on. The devs could take some ideas from the wish list form and ask the council to vote on them. Then the council can request up to 5 items be added to the next quarterly meeting. The council would have to vote on each item to be added. If the item is voted in, then it will be taken up at the next monthly quarterly meeting. Then the devs can add 5 items, which would make a total of 10 items for each agenda. It doesn't have to to be changes to the game. Some of the items could even just be subscriber or streamer perks, in-game giveaways, upcoming events or contests,
That's some
etc.
Shroud math if I ever heard it.
Yes.
Take
Top-
five a quarter and add 5, and then the next
Hey.
time we get 10. How does that work? Yeah, that doesn't work.
Well, one would be what's the status of the previous 5? Then it becomes here's 5 additional ones, so that becomes 10. Then from there, the next quarter it would be 15 items.
Yeah, Shroud math at its best.
I mean, because hey, these issues were never addressed, but they're still on the plate.
Wait for it, Bridge Troll. Wait for it, because I've got all sorts of great stuff.
Go ahead and read off a Bridge Troll's comment.
Bridge Troll's comment: the top 10 or 20 players, that's a whole server.
Yes.
Well, considering we're one of the only games truly with the single server out there, unlike the original shards in UO or shards in other places or different shards in New World, we are one of the only games that has one true universe.
Yes. Who would be representatives? Maybe invite the top 10 to 20 players as based on playtime or adventurer level. Be sure to get a wide range of specs such as Fire Mage, Ranger, Heavy Armor, Water Mage, etc.
Well, if we went on playtime, I would definitely be on the top of that list, if not the very top of that list.
Well, but at the same time, that would have to, because that would actually have to be like it's that playtime or adventure level doesn't actually make sense, because one, that becomes one where it's like, okay, here's my soapbox. Then from there, you'd have to guarantee that they're actually playing the game and not just like macroing or sitting idle like Laz and Jack.
Nobody would ever do that.
No.
Yeah, but when it comes
Time
to
played last 2
playtime,
weeks, 62 hours.
I think, 62 hours in the past 2 weeks with a total of 26,000 plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? 26,000, 92.4 hours.
Why does mine not show the my last played is today.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say. But a lot less hours than Laz because I don't idle all day long.
Yeah, way too many hours. And those are only the hours that are on Steam, Bridge Troll. Those aren't hours that were logged in through the regular client or on alternate characters. That's just one. That's just the one.
Conjurer Dragon with the, as a real-time parliament that would be determined to fail. The devs would not have 24/7 to have someone permanently present in-game as an avatar, and the players would have, they're only meeting monthly or quarterly.
Yeah, first off, where did you get 24/7, Conjurer Dragon? Yeah, more Shroud math there.
Yeah. If one wants to bring something to the attention of devs, there are bugs, the feedback, and the wishlist forum, which the devs spend way too. Or you could do what everybody else does, which is really the way to get things done. Wait for Chris to get on a stream, then tip bits related to your comment.
10 bits, 1,000 bits or more usually gets stuff recognized.
And then imagine that he works on it. Yes, and Lily is mine.
We've never seen this happen, right, Jack? That's never. No, we've never actually seen that happen. Yeah, right.
Never, ever seen like something that never been brought up before, mentioned on a stream. Someone tips some bits, and then imagine that becomes Chris's priority for the next 2 months.
Next week it gets released before going to QA or anything else.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all those other things have been completely negated. Sigalians, like they eat They meet once a month or even once a quarter. Agenda is tightly controlled and defined. Forums aren't a great way to engage players and certainly doesn't create publicity. Eve has been using players' councils for years to much success. Soda is a sandbox. A sandbox allows you to do anything, but oftentimes lack the motivation to do anything. Players and devs have to create that structure in-game. What is the point in creating a sandbox if you choose to do everything on the forums? New Britannia needs to feel alive and make it feel alive by giving it life. A player's council isn't just a fun way to interact with players and make them feel more involved in the game. It is a great way to use the game world to effectuate change, create the systems, and then use them to solve real world problems.
Real world problems.
So I'm going to bring up one topic, and this is one that will just cause controversy left and right with way too many people. If you want more people in the game, you have to have better PvP systems.
Full loot, full loot, full loot.
Yes. And it's like you turn around, which also means it's like you have to change a lot of game systems. You remember early on when they talked about like, okay, when you die, you're not going to drop all your loot, but you're going to only drop anything you harvested in that scene, right? You remember that discussion from years ago, like 5-6 years ago.
Why don't you stand up and then go ahead and hit a teleport to zone scroll and read to me what is at the end of every single freaking town there, almost every single town.
Hold on. I have to put on my ring.
Yeah. Oh, you can't get the
For weight, man. No ransom, 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 no ransom.
Yeah. Why? Hello. Isn't that what PvP is all about? Is getting ransom? But somebody decided to make no ransom. Look at this. A tier 5 adventuring area, open PvP, no ransom. Look at that. Midras Ruins. Open PvP, no ransom. The Fall, open PvP, no ransom.
Hey, Laz, so I got a special one for you. Go find the Brittany Graveyard.
Exploration area. Oh, look at that. One with ransom. Does that mean you can get ransom out in the Brittany Graveyard?
Are we taking a trip out to Brittany Graveyard real quick?
No, we're not. We
come on. Let's go duel.
No,
we need to get back in the top 10.
We've got other stuff to cover here. I've got a whole tirade.
Okay, fine. Be that way.
I've got a soapbox coming up, people. So you all better get out your popcorn.
That's a neat idea for sure. The whole use soda instead of forums idea is very nice, to be honest. There's a Discord channel where elected players share their vision with the devs. Problem is, the representatives are elected by the devs. What? It's like the king elects the prime minister who elects the parliament that elects the people. Ravelox, I'm going to point you to the Hospitaller thread. Hospitallers, pronounced Hoss, Pit, Allers, used to meet weekly during early access, and the community was encouraged to attend to gain insights into aspects of the game they were not familiar with, or that may not have been operating as expected, depending on availability of the community manager at the time would attend, or otherwise review the meeting notes and ask questions on items that needed addressing.
Yes. Now we'll go to Crafty Methods comments first because
I think a category above Hospitallers is required. One that could have stopped poor dev decisions. We always need to revisit how we considered elected representatives in game. current in-game royalty were distant at best.
Yes. And yes, Segalian, you are here now,
Yeah,
and
sorry.
this is your topic. But now we're gonna go open up that link to the hospitalers.
And thank you for that follow there, Potash.
We
Although it's
got
actually Katosh.
00 Chutoy 00, otherwise known as just Chutoy, has followed. Thank you for the follow and welcome to today's show.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the hospitalers, players helping players.
Wait. Hold on. I love the link that Ravelox posted, right? Look at the date on that fucker.
On what? The hospitaler post?
The one that he linked to, if you followed his link from the forum thread.
Yeah, we're on that
it took
now.
you to page 14. Hospitaler meeting minutes. All are welcome to attend the 19th of November, 2017.
Correct. Absolutely. And this was a place where hospitalers could come and do this, do that. And I don't know why it's on page 14. What's on 13?
Well, that is like previous things. He was providing an example of what was discussed during those meetings.
Well, originally, before Ravlox came along, this was something that was run by Elgarian. And I'm going to scroll down. As you'll scroll down here.
No. Just skip to the last page.
No. I want you to scroll down underneath that. Listen to me, will you? Scroll down underneath that.
Okay. And look at meeting notes.
And around the room. First off, there's meeting notes, which are notes from the meetings and what was discussed every meeting. I gotta say that I attended just about every single meeting with the exception of one or two. So I was here, and you will notice that the people who attended, Grimace, Kron, myself, Merrick, Rada, Ravlock, Skeggy Media, Solazar, Sparkus Barhork, and Timmy were here for most of these meetings. And you'll see as we scroll down, even Barrick and Dallas had actually showed up. Some Barrick and Dallas and Winfield were
no. Barrick and Dallas weren't there. They were tagged for review.
And like I said, as you will notice, Barrick and Dallas were here for some. They weren't here for all, but they were tagged for review. Barrick and Dallas did join some of these meetings. They weren't here for everyone. But Elgarian became the mediator. So as you'll see, the second one down, Elgarian, will send Twitter posts daily from the Did You Know items in game. You see, that lasted a long time. But basically, every week we sat down, and you can scroll through these and see what the topics were, what was talked about, what was thrown out. And you'll find that a lot of the items that were discussed were actually implemented in one way or the other, with the handful of things that weren't. Again, Elgarian was usually in charge of these until he stopped coming, and then Winfield, Ravlox, myself, we would all take turns depending on who showed up. And again, many times, you'll see. I was here, Ravlox was here. You'll see the difference in the meeting agenda, but you'll notice that people showed up. Like I'm a few down here, and here Brazen Spirituality showed up, Justin showed up, and of course, then again, myself, Merrick, Rada, Ravlox, Striker, and Timmy. And you'll notice, recurring names of people who showed up every single week to these meetings to have our voices heard. And of course, it was a really great way to get things done. But after a while, you'll notice that, as you go to page 15, 16, 17, that the attendance started dropping off because people weren't really interested. They couldn't make it, or life got in the way. But the one constant was, you'll notice somebody's name, that would be me, who was here pretty much every single friggin' meeting. And again, a lot of stuff was discussed. A lot of stuff was tossed around. Elgarian took a lot of time when he was in charge of it to get this passed off to the devs. And then you'll come down and see, Merrick makes a couple comments.
Wait. When was the last meeting? Have you figured that out yet?
Last meeting was, let me get to the bottom of this page. It was in 2018. I think page 17 was the last of the meeting notes. Was it page 17 or was it page 16?
Page
This was
16.
page 16, yeah.
So the last meeting was over 4 years ago.
Yeah, you'll see that, like, here, the attendees today were Rada, Ravlox, and Stryker, one of the ones that I missed right there. And then you'll see again, you'll notice that I showed up there. I showed up there. I didn't show up there. And towards the end, you'll notice that, the attendance started to slack, but let's get down to the very last one. I think that was the last one there.
Where it's just Rada and Ravlox?
Last one I'm seeing is July 29th, 2018.
Yeah. The one before that was it's like, yeah.
So that was the last official gathering, and we would gather on Discord. But of the hour is here, thanks to Tina for the reminder.
Oh, geez. Only 3 people in on my giveaway, which makes it going to be really easy for Dwip and Stymie to be getting streamer bundles.
Oh, we got a total of 4 entries on this side. Well, let's go ahead and pick ourselves a winner.
So Ravlox is pointing out in that prior thread
Stymie is our second winner.
That player council and referencing something that hasn't been active in over 4 years.
Well, what he is referencing here is something that has already existed. So, basically what he's pointing to is, we've been there, done that.
To do?
Players helping players.
Players helping players. I mean, yeah.
That was the original intent.
But what was Segalian trying to get done?
Apparently same thing that the hospitalers were doing back in the day, which was
no. That was, let's suggest improvements to the game for the developers.
Well, that's what we were doing here. Of course, we didn't stop and read all this. This wasn't players helping players. These meetings in the hospitaler meeting were actually a think tank for the developers.
Well, I'm aware of that. I mean, that's what the meetings became, because it's like, okay, what can we do to help players? And then it becomes, what game changes do we need to do in order to help players? I mean, yes, I know how they come back together, but the hospitaler's intent was initially players helping players, not a council of players to help the direction of the game.
Well, again, it evolved over a period of time there, because the folks who were there, and again, I got to give big props to Elgarian, because Elgarian was the one who said, if you guys come up with any ideas that would help us implement to make things better for the players, quality of life improvements, better mechanics, all that all had to do with players helping players realistically. And again, it became more of a think tank than anything else, where we would sit down and say, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing this? Shouldn't we be doing it that way? And we'd put it in the notes and have them there, so that, if Elgarian wasn't there for any given week, he could peruse them. Dallas was a big supporter, and Beric were big supporters at the time. This was, where a lot of stuff got done really early on. And again, you'd have to go back and actually, read through a lot of these notes as to what the tabled projects were.
Yep.
What was actually talked about, meeting topics discussed, new player experience, hospitality in-game mechanics and rule set, reach out soda. I mean, these are Shooter Jennings album release party. These were stuff that was all done, outstanding tasks, forum threads, tabled projects, meeting dates and times, stream the meeting, because at one point there was even thoughts of streaming the meeting so people who really couldn't or didn't want to actually attend could actually sit there and watch and listen. And again, I'm going to go back a couple pages here just to, let's go back to,
Hey, I just love the fact that that thread has been dead for a couple of years.
well, it's closed because after 2018, people really, again,
Yeah.
it was me and Ravlock showing up most of the time towards the end, and at that point we really even stopped taking meeting notes because Sunday at noon is when these were held, which was noon Central Standard Time. Really wasn't a very great time for most people. And again, people who were available were able to come and attend, and of course, notes were taken and posted so people could see what was talked about, so that there was total visibility on what was being done. So what people weren't getting, like they did those. What's the word I'm looking for? When Chris asked the PvPers, and Chris picked like 5 PvPers to be part of a group, a little think tank. He had a name
And,
for them.
and only listen to one of them.
And yeah, well, the catch was he didn't ask people like you and me who might have been really good casual PvPers. He only went the round tables. Thank you, Bridge Troll. He had the round tables.
Well,
And
the round table where he really didn't listen to any ideas.
Well, yeah.
And everything became Shroud math, and it's like every single fix to PvP and PvE has been a rounding error. It's like we still don't have factions in game, player factions. Guild wars are completely stupid because the only thing a guild war does is really just flag the entire guild as PvP, and then there's a count between the two guilds that have declared war, but everybody's flagged PvP, and that was the fix.
So let's go to Segallian's last post. As Segallian said, should Catnip open a classic server the way Soda was back in 2017 before a lot of people left? No, that's my answer to that.
It would be even worse.
Yeah. But go ahead and finish his comments on that post topic. He's got the last, I think that's the last top comment on there.
Yeah, I gotta get back to that page. I am thinking of the same concept, but geared toward wish list items. I think the meetings could be done outside of the presence of the devs, but it only works if the devs take it seriously. What's the point in the community meetings to go over the top 5 requests or suggestions they have for the devs if the devs are just going to ignore it? This isn't a means to air complaints, but a way for the player base to feel connected to the devs. I'm not saying that the devs have to agree with the player council. There will be reasons why items can't be accomplished, but at least the players will feel like they have a connection to the game. I wonder how much community involvement would have negated previous issues. If the devs would actually listen to players, make the posts that they said that, hey, we're going to thinking about changing this, and make that post on the forums, get feedback, and then test different things and draw them out and explore ideas, that would be one thing. But what have we received for the last several years? Laz, has any game system actually been really tested?
Some
we're-
have.
we're-
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I'm still not happy with the combat bar and all the how that works and all that good stuff.
Well, so Laz, what was the last major game system that was actually implemented? Major
Couldn't
game
tell
system.
you. Major game system
Skill-
was probably Bard system.
The Bard system. Okay. What did players ask for when it came to barding?
Play an instrument and do a spell.
What do we have?
No playing instrument and very long spell casting times where you would be dead now if you were trying to cast.
Yes. So, was this what the players asked for?
Well, it's never what the players asked for,
Or even conceptualized?
And we have several, things like, this little trash can behind us here. While this came in and was something that was asked for, it wasn't what we asked for. Garbage bin was, people again wanted it like, the old UO. You just drop something in there and eventually it disappears. They didn't want to have to do 300 clicks to get rid of an item.
Yeah.
Another one was multiple scrolls. When we asked you to make multiple scrolls so that we can make batch scrolls, we didn't ask you to create a whole new category and then add a fuel to it, which was not needed, and then take away part of our experience because you only get credit for 10 instead of the 12 that you make. Yeah, I mean, I can go on and on and on about things that were asked for and implemented, but not implemented in the proper way. What was the other one? Of course, deleting coconuts. That was fixed, not fixed, fixed, not fixed, fixed, not fixed, and then of course,
The trash can became the solution for it.
yeah. Now, of course, if you open your inventory and just take any item. Let's see, that's a locked item, so I guess I'd have to go to say
Take
crafting.
any item and do what with it?
Like right click on any item and you still get a destroy selected item. So why didn't they just add that, functionality to the handful of things that needed to be added instead of taking the time to put in the artwork for a trash can, the mechanics for a trash can, because destroy selected items is a mechanic that was already in the game. So why they didn't go just, tick that box on, the items that were missing, yeah.
But but let's go back to the Bard system real quick.
The Galleon's got a comment on that.
Why do you think the devs don't fix the Bard system?
Because Chris thinks it's working as intended and really, really great system because he developed it. That's my 2 cents.
Vesper's like, players will riot when it's fixed. It's fucking shit design.
Let's speaking of said, let's derail this train because this is one that
we still don't even have fixes for chaotic clone.
Yeah, I've got that one in the. But let's go ahead and I'm going to throw this in here and bring this topic up. You're going to love this one. Oops, that didn't go as planned. Come on.
Players will riot when it's fixed. Well, there's lots of things that would be fixed that would actually improve the gameplay. Well, I mean, we do have all kinds of things that we have made suggestions on remember a few years ago when Chris was talking about how he was going to make changes to the game and rip the Band-Aids off, and he hasn't ripped a single Band-Aid off. And the only thing he's tried to do is adjust the math.
Yes.
It's like you haven't changed the actual fundamental systems.
My answer
You keep
to
on
that
just tweaking
question
math.
is 3. And of course, Vespers, when I finally get some updates as to what you're doing, I would make the answer 4. For those of you who are not familiar, Vesper is now a GM in Shroud of the Avatar. But if you ask how many devs I think there are, I'm going to say there's Chris, there's David, and there's Sanyo. I don't count Ravlox as a dev. Maybe he can make some scenes, but we're waiting on a scene for over a year and a half that he's been working on. And it's a thorn in the side of the people waiting on said scene, basically the Lord of the Isle folks. And I don't see him as a developer who is coding and doing this other stuff. Vesper, we'd love to hear what you're working on, what you've been doing, what you plan on doing, and what your role is. And if you could, share that, or come on in and join us in chat and talk about that, we'd love to hear it.
I'm going to actually be more specific. I think there's only 3 full-time employees, or 3 full-time contractors.
Well, again, the question was, how many devs do you think there are?
3 full-time.
That was my answer.
And
Chris, David.
I don't consider Chris one, though.
Well, who would you consider the other one? There's David, there's Sanyo. Who would you consider the other one?
I was going to throw Vespers in there as the most recent person to join the team.
Right, but my understanding is he hasn't really gotten his feet wet. Of course, if Vespers can give us information on that, we'd appreciate.
Segalian says, from a business standpoint, would you allocate devs to fixing old things, helping former players come back, or working on things, new things to bring in new players?
I would say fixing old things that are important, like maps. That would be my biggest one. Fixing old things that are important, like PvP. Not fix 300 typos or move the floating object. I don't care if an object is floating a little bit off the ground in a scene. That's not a bug fix to me. That's something that can be done any given day. Let's flesh out the actual mechanics. Well,
the other thing, Laz, is that Sanyo,
I want you to bring up this other topic here, because this is a perfect example of well, I'll let you state it, because
mounted speed versus carrying capacity. Those 2 skills sound just as opposite as the elixir extension and the elixir receptive skills, yet they can be learned both from the master tactics trainer. Is there any use doing so? From the description, both sounds like they cancel each other out, yet the bonuses from starting level give a slight bonus, carry 0.25 plus 25% mounted capacity minus speed, and speed is plus 0 mounted speed minus 1.3 mounted capacity. And Berrigan's like, they essentially cancel out the base mounted proficiency skill. So if you trained them both, then you wound up with the same bonus in both speed and carry capacity that the base skill alone provides, but at a great experience loss. If you say just mounted speed focus to the same level as mounted proficiency, then you get a generous boost to your speed and 0 boost overall to your carry capacity. And Vanatorian, my observation was that if you train both, they don't fully cancel out, just reduce the overall effects. It's definitely worth investing in both, as well as mounted proficiency. And here's some rough examples. Training only mounted speed by X would increase your speed by 100% and decrease your carry capacity by 40%. Training only mounted capacity by X would increase your capacity by 100% and decrease your speed by 40%. Training both skills by X, double the amount of skill points, would increase both properties by 60%. When I'm training them, I played around with the levels to try and keep carry capacity around 0 increase, because I'm more interested in speed. I trained speed as high as possible and only trained capacity enough to avoid getting a penalty while mounted. Berrigan's like, yes, you are correct. I checked these offline and at skill levels of 100, 124, 12, 20, 124, 240 experience each. Here's what you get. Plus 1.3, 125, plus 250%. Yeah, so Shroud math to skills that are designed to cancel each other out don't.
Yeah. And so, Galleon, yeah, I know you're not arguing. Again, we're just pointing out the obvious here.
Yeah.
And also, what was the other comment I saw here? Could it have to do with dev skill level? Maybe they don't know how to fix things. They can only add new things. No, Chris was the tech developer who had a say in all this. And Drip says, I think the thing they talk about most is bad business model and resulting in lack of money to do things right. Need money to hire good developers, which is something that Jack and I have spoken about, and we harp on the
Ad
regular.
nauseum?
Yeah, is
Ad nauseum.
when they decided to bring in heritage items, which finally, after years of us pouncing on it and harping on it and pointing out that it's not doing the good that they thought it was. Finally, somebody asked a question, and somebody researched it and found out they weren't making any money off of it, so they ditched it. I believe the same goes with the vault. Any
vault.
items that you have previously released should be held as never released again. If you release an item, it's all about the pixel crack, as Jack calls it. Every month we should have new items. Every month there should be new stuff to buy, and it should be only for a limited time. Even if you put it in for the entirety of the game, but a lot of things should be limited release items because the game was sold as a game where there are going to be lots and lots of rares to collect. And when you take items that were once rare and A, put them back on sale, and B, reduce the original price on them, devaluing the price of the original items, you've screwed not only the pooch, but yourself by losing the money and the income that you would have gained when you used to sell an airship for $750 and you put it on sale for $350 special. Okay, that's great. You put it on sale to increase a little boost, get a little bit more sales. But when you drop that down to 100 and made it permanently available, there's only so much of a market for people who are going to want those items. And the people who really wanted those items, like Jack and myself, we waited for them to go on sale and we spent the $350 on them. If people really wanted these items, they would save, they would collect, they would jump and buy. And I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I used to spend at least $50 a month just on subscribers, not subscribers, but to the telethons.
Segalian. So your argument, I feel that they don't have the money to pay for a 3D artist to create a new one-time only items. The problem is you are creating a life cycle of those items, right? So as people realize, hey, these items are never coming back, that incentivizes them. So if you think about the old telethons, they were raising on average like $120,000 a month just from the telethons. Some months the lowest telethon was like $15,000 or $18,000.
The highest one was like 26,000 because that was the ice cloak. But it was the only item, and you had to get $25,000, so it was just slightly above that. So Galleon used to be every month. Every month there was a telethon. Every month there was a fundraiser.
Yeah, and the items that the rares were all of these items are only available by you contributing $5 or more on this telethon,
or purchasing something from the store that month.
Yes. Laz and myself would spend money on every single account that we had to get those items.
Which again was about $50 just on those, because 10 accounts each was that.
And then sometimes it's like you end up spending like $1,000 or more on a telethon to get
that
to the
was a
next rare
minimum.
item.
Yeah, that was a minimum that we would spend monthly, and then they would be releasing things, and we would go ahead and we would buy those things that came out that were designed. Whether it be Christmas
Because they were
deco,
rares.
whether
Yeah,
it
it's
be
like
masks, whether it be every month there was new stuff coming out, so we would buy 10 and 20 of those items for
yeah,
specifically, yes, secondary market later on down the line when they were no longer available to resell on the secondary market. And of course, that led to thousands of dollars in sales just between the two of us. Now, of course, you know what they get a month out of the two of us? They get my $9 for one subscription, so I get all the subscription perks, and I use those to get the kodos that I use to give away to you folks every month during our supporter race. But from thousands of dollars a month from the two of us to $9 a month. That's just us two. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that on this show because we'll get to it again. Um, yeah.
ad nauseum.
Yes, didn't they make them non-share? That was heritage items, and that was stupid because that means I couldn't buy Jack a Christmas present. I couldn't send something to somebody else as a Christmas present. If somebody kept saying, "I wish I could afford this," yeah, but I'm short on money right now, I couldn't just gift that to them because it was no trade. So yeah, and again, yeah, I know Bridge Troll, you stopped your $9 a month. Jack stopped his $9 a month, and hundreds of other people we know, literally we know, stopped the $9 a month on top of that. So from the thousands that we would spend on the regular, you know, it went down to $9 a month only because I'm a diehard. And even then, I'm going to show you this, and you're all going to laugh, and then we're going to start wrapping up. Let me get over here.
What are you going to do?
I'm opening up my rewards.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even use the rewards. I don't even open the rewards. They just sit here. And I'm just going to type in reward, REWARD, as soon as my 1,000+ items loads up here, because I also use this as storage. Okay. Login rewards from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. From like 2019, I stopped. Yeah, I stopped even opening them. That's just those. Subscriber bundles. Let's go down here and I gotta move this down a little so that we can see this. Last subscriber bundle I opened looks like release 90 was the last. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. I opened 97 apparently. But you'll notice I'm not even opening these rewards anymore because most of them are now starting to repeat from stuff that we've already gotten. And, it's
Yeah.
really not, and then to top it off, actually, all these are now available in the store. Every month, these things become available in the store after they come out as subscriber rewards. A subscriber reward should be a bonus only to subscribers. They shouldn't be offered in the store for sale. So the catch is that they don't have the artistry to do it. They do because they're including these items every month, and some of them are new items, I got to admit. But if you're making those new items, it should be a perk for subscribers. It shouldn't be added on to the store later on. It should be an incentive to make people subscribe, not, oh, well, you can buy it later because you didn't subscribe. No, no, no. The point is to get the subscription, So, I mean, yes, very bad decisions when it comes to things like that, in our opinions. And, taming collars need to be crafted or buyable someplace.
Yes.
You can actually buy I can actually show you this too. I think I have them in my inventory.
Is soda a front for a drug syndicate? No.
There are two types of taming collars. Do I have them on me? I do not. But you can go to the outskirts and buy a cheap taming collar that does the job, but has a little penalty. If you're a GM tamer, then you really don't have a problem, especially if you're going to turn it into a rideable mount. Those are what I use, but they're a pain in the ass to turn in because you can only have one on you at turn in at any given time. But then you can create your own and you can use those. I usually have them, but I dropped them on my lot when I was trading in some horses the other day. So yes, you can either create them or you can buy the cheap ones out at the outskirts. Soto was a guy giving his friend money to make a game for his friends in Austin. No, Soto was us, the players, giving the company money to get the game. That's why it was crowdfunded. We were a crowdfunded game. We are still a crowdfunded game.
Oh fuck! You, you know what? I forgot to reopen my giveaway. Oops. Everybody better type in !bundle me on my stream.
Yeah.
Because you got like 30 seconds. Oh, Richard popped in for a second and approved friend request the other day.
Yeah, that was on Sunday. I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking for this. Yeah, Tina, make an RMT page. You know, and we've said that too. They can always purchase Shroud Marketplace for a price, and you know.
Yeah, create the RMT site and then take a portion of every single sale, and then it's like you're making money over every single bit of the transaction. But Deblosic is getting a game called Terrain of Magical Expertise.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this. I've got a whole 5 entrants in on the bundles. Let's pick
Which is
2 winners.
$25.
Tina and Stymie are our winners. Nom,
No,
nom, nom,
I do
nom,
not.
nom, nom.
I do not refriend anybody. And do not unfriended anybody either.
And for Mystery Game Key,
this is going to be awesome.
Tina O'Neill.
Hey, lads, how about this? 2 people entered, 2 people win.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Tina, you're going to get a copy of the Indie Mixtape. Don't know if you got it. Let me know. But we've got to run. We'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.